Hiya girls, we are Barney and Lukey and we are the hot young visionaries behind Truffle Pig Wigs.
And this is Cliffhangers, the unofficial, unrequested and unhinged RuPaul's Drag Race recap show.
The views and opinions expressed on Cliffhangers are from a couple of women who just love drag and have zero real business judging it. If you are not a fan of red-hot acidic critique, turn back now.
I got a hangover, whoa.
The joke is, I haven't had a hangover for, what, since last year. I ain't drunk.
I've had a couple of hangovers.
Okay.
I feel like they are really hitting much worse these days.
They do hit different in the 30s, don't they? I haven't had, not a sip of alcohol has touched me lips since 2024.
How boring.
I know. Has changed, but lots of drugs, so.
Fine.
It is what it is.
Is this going to be our last hangover? Is that what you're saying?
I believe so. I believe we're going to take a sort of creative hiatus to try and work out what is going to be the best show to give the girls. And we're going to go away and have a little look at what we think is going to be the best content, a bit longer form, a bit more structured, aren't we? Come up with a bit of a better TP Dubs production, I think.
That's what he's saying, so that's what we're doing.
Listen to the lady. And on that thought, Sister Goddard, imagine, if you will, after one final unfortunate heterosexual frisson, the pig in question pulls out his stinking street meat to reveal half an inch of chode wrapped in soggy stale foreskin. So repulsed by the male form...
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
So repulsed by this male form, you turn to our Lord and Saviour, Jesus, and take an oath of silence. Unable to talk your shit, you only have the modest power of the God-fearing lip sync to tell our beloved clan of Dingleberry Lickers how your week's been. What song are you picking?
This week, I am very happy to say that I will be performing for you Titanium by David Guetta featuring Sia.
What are you wearing?
Probably silver.
Yeah, a bit of lame. Okay, listen.
And the reason for this is I've had the very fantastic news that after 10 plus years of pain every day, I am going to have a hip replacement in the next 3 months.
Isn't that fucking insane?
Everyone I've told you has been like, oh, that's cool. It's like, I don't think you understand. It's life-changing.
It's a life-changing bit, yeah. She's getting a new bit of kit.
I'm not going to be, like, in pain every single day, and it's so
such a silent warrior as well. You never complain about it. Maybe that's why people don't think it's such a big deal, because you're actually not very gobby about the pain you're in.
Gobby. Well, I mean, it would literally be boring if every time I saw you I was like, oh, my hip really hurts. But
many people do. Many people moan about much less levels of pain every single day.
But the funniest thing was today I had to go for my like pre-op checkup thing. I had to do like two blood thingies, ECG, all these other things. And when I was getting my blood pressure done, this very nice Geordie man was like, "Oh, you're 2 months off my." Huh?
I thought you can do the accent, but.
You're like 2 months off my son's birthday. And I was like, oh, crazy. Like, and he was like, yeah.
The 30th of May. That's actually my dad's birthday.
2 months.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I'll shut the fuck up.
Please do. And he was like, oh, yeah, he was in a band. And I was like, sure, I'll buy it. What band? And he was like, The Holiday Plan. And I was like, wait, hold the fucking
The Holiday Plan
phone. It was when I was going out with the dead one. So between 18 and 21.
Rest in peace.
I worked as a runner / logger on this MTV show called Breaking Point.
The lives you've lived.
And it was following like 4 bands that are about to just make it, basically.
And one of them was?
The Holiday Plan.
Insane.
So crazy. And I just remember that was just like such a fun job, because I was mainly with this band from Orange County called Foolproof, who they put up in a flat on Tottenham Court Road, so that we went to their parties all the time. And McFly were on the same label, so they invited McFly down. So that's how I've got my pictures with Dougie et al.
Love you, Dougie.
Love you, Dougie. You didn't deserve to have to go out with Ellie Goulding.
No one does.
I think that's why he's so depressed these days.
Is he depressed?
I think very much so. Maybe he's over it now.
I imagine he would be.
And yeah, but then the Holiday Plan were just these fun, lovely boys. I didn't know that well, but knew them a bit, and like watched hours and hours of their fucking footage. How random is that?
That is so random.
So Jesse Brandon. And then, just because I was just like, that's crazy. Then he had to what's that disease you get in hospitals? It's like a series of letters.
I'm imagining like HPV. No. Yeah.
Whatever.
I imagine if you're in hospital, you've probably already got a disease. That's why you're there.
But there's that famous one that like you can catch from being in hospital.
I've never heard of that.
Anyway, it's like a series of letters. So he had to do like a swab in my throat and my nose. And then when he was doing my throat one, he was like, open wide, let's see what you had for breakfast. He was like, oh, smoked salmon and scrambled eggs. Which,
HAI.
No.
Oh, okay.
And he was like...
MRSA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Basically, I was like, that's literally my favourite breakfast of all time. And he was like, that's my favourite breakfast of all time. I've got a Lithuanian wife now, and I've showed it to her, and that's now what she has every Sunday.
Hot damn.
So I was just like,
Look at
wow,
you just making
me
chums
and this
in the hospital.
tobacco-stained fingered Geordie nurse really hitting it off.
Truly.
What would you lip sync for your last week?
Mine would be He's the Greatest Dancer by Sister Sledge, because now that the sun is out, now that it's, well, yeah, first of all, check the moves, but also like when now that it's warm and bright, I can be out dancing again, and I feel like I was very excited. I think we're going to go box on Saturday. We're going to go to the box.
I don't know if I'm going to go.
Oh, I'd like to go to the box.
I just feel like it's full of stuck up, just like rich people trying to
flex,
show off their, like, trying to impress their like young hot dates.
I haven't been in a few years, but I'm now back out in these streets. I think I can now bear the thought of, for the past like 4 months, the thought of being anywhere outside has been absolutely horrific. But even though it was freezing cold and raining, pouring rain, snowing and hailing yesterday, I feel like I could be back out in these streets.
Fair enough.
Yeah, innit?
And why would you be going to the box?
Because our deep friend of the pod, Fancy Shoes, Miss Georgiana Beevingtons, is performing, I believe. I need to message her. I haven't actually
drag or DJ? I thought she doesn't do drag anymore.
Both, maybe.
A bit of both. I don't know about that. She specifically told us the other day that she
Maybe
doesn't. Never the twain shall meet.
Maybe she's popping ping pongs out of her puss.
Ideally.
Yeah, they have lots of good. There's the piss girl as well that pisses into a glass and drinks it. I mean, lesser things have happened on an after party than that, but get it on the stage, I guess.
I would like to bring a conversational subject to you, Barney.
Please, go on.
I'd like to know what you think happens when we die, and then I'd like for you to tell us some of your witchy tarot things that you've been investigating.
Witchy tarot things.
Yes.
What I think happens when we die, realistically, we, in the most unbearable thought ever, your brain doesn't shut off and you're just there in a dead corpse just having to think forever. That is my worst nightmare.
But is that what you think happens?
No, I think nothing, realistically. I think that in my spiritual beliefs, I think that we go into the earth. After a month or two, we go into the soil. The energy is absorbed into the soil, and then plants grow, and then you become part of the back to the earth.
So what about ghosts?
I think that there is definitely a spirit world. I don't know too much about it.
The veil between the spirit world and the living world.
Exactly. I definitely believe in that. I definitely believe that there is a world in which sometimes the energy of people is trapped between the two worlds, and that potentially, to be honest, it's something that I don't think about a ton, because the possibilities of it are actually quite terrifying, I think. But I definitely think that there is. I do believe in ghosts, and I do believe in the spirit world. What about you?
I think when you die, you're just dead and you rot, and that's it. I would like to believe that there's more,
of course,
quirky shit going on, but I just actually don't.
I think that there's a possibility that when us, like I don't believe in the concept of like souls, but like the concept of the energy that we possess, like the voice in your head, the like cerebral like thoughts and stuff that you have, your brain. No, because I like to think of it as like more than the matter of just like what's in your head. Like this whole person that's like, it's attached to a body right now, but then I think that when you die and your body becomes defunct, that I think that there's a world
Slam dunk defunct.
Yeah, that there's a world in which that could travel, the energy could travel somewhere else.
Through time and space.
Yeah.
Doing
which
what?
I'd absolutely fucking love. Just like bopping about, like checking people out, being nosy.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
No. I do believe that there's a world in which energy could like travel to like different time zones and worlds, and like that it doesn't end in just being like of floating thoughts. I don't know, but I again don't think about it too much, because I think it's actually it's limitless and it's quite terrifying.
So that means that you don't believe that we just die and that's it?
Well, I believe our body, our physical selves die, and then that's it, and then we just rot. But like
There's
believe
a little
that
ball of
we are
electricity with our personality in it rocking
I
about.
believe that we are more than just our physical bodies. So
I think if there was a God, the only way that there could be that is that God is Mother Nature.
yeah,
and
that's what I believe.
The birth and rebirth.
Yeah.
The death and rebirth, sorry. And
I just think scientifically, how can that not be true?
scientifically.
Yeah, I think that our science points to the idea of when you think about things like, you know, how like the mushrooms and fungi are like interconnected through like energy source, and they speak to each other, and they like.
I think mushrooms are aliens, though.
Okay.
Mushrooms and octopi.
I think that's quite tinfoil hat, but I'm very into it. I'm here to learn. I'm here to listen. I think that it makes no sense that, like, when you think about like what the effect that nature has on our world, when you think about the gravitation, I'm a moon girly. When you think about the gravitational pull of the moon and how that affects water, how it affects our tide, how we're 2/3 water, and how that affects like emotionally and like psychologically how it affects us as people, like. Everything points to the idea that like Mother Nature is like the governing, like controlling body of our world, and that we are just matter.
But Mother Nature is just on Earth, really, I would say, not to do with the
But that's in our universe. That's our world. That's our world. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think about other worlds because I don't know about them. That's why I'm quite like smooth brain in this capacity, that I feel like when it comes to death, like I will face death. And then I will know.
You got a choice, bitch.
Yeah, but like I will face it, and then I will know. So like, why waste my time on Earth like obsessing about what's going to happen when I'll deal with that when it happens.
So do you not believe in aliens?
It's a scientific impossibility that there's not aliens.
So why do you think it's tinfoil hat to think that there's things on our planet that could be aliens? That's
Well,
been
the
here for
mushrooms are aliens.
mushrooms and octopus.
I believe octopus. I believe it's also what you classify as like an alien,
Or
like
something
an
that's not from our
extraterrestrial.
world that has come here.
So you believe that they've been placed here by they've come here from some. I mean, I'm into it. I'm just saying it is.
There could have been a mushroom on an asteroid that landed here, and then they're all just like doing their thing
I
because
love
like
that
they're
idea.
also like the things that mushrooms can do is crazy. Like no other vegetable can do that. So like, why can they?
And as well, when you take mushrooms in somewhere of like high intensity wildlife, I can remember being when me and Lottie were at Epping Forest, and she was going through a particularly messy breakup, and we went and took...
Fuck that bitch.
Yeah, fuck. If you listen to this, fuck you, bitch. We went to Epping Forest and took some medicinal mushrooms.
Of course.
And
Oh, the kind.
I had the most intense trip of my life, where basically I was like looking at just like trees, and just like, it's like so fairy tale there. I was like looking at all these trees, and the trees were like speaking to me and moving, and I was like, and I could feel from the ground that like the ground was like putting energy into me. This sounds like absolute fucking...
Well, if you've got mushroom
like,
inside you,
energy
then you're
healer
connected
core.
to the mainframe.
But yeah. And I was like, through these mushrooms, I was like, I've obviously unlocked something in my head. And I was like, and I can physically feel energy from the ground that is like other plants and the earth coming through my arms. And Lottie could feel it too. And I was like, and these trees are moving and they're talking to me. And I was like, this is such...
What were they saying?
They're just like not... I could hear
Go
like...
piss, girl.
Yeah, yeah. Just like, cute bangs, babe. Like, until you've experienced shit like that, like, that's, of course, our world is like energy based and about Mother Nature and mother. And then that like neatly winds into, if you believe in energy, you believe in the power of manifestation. You believe in that you're able to harness energy, and that positive energy and negative energy like are effects, right? We have night and day, we have positive and negative.
I don't believe in manifestation.
You don't have to. You can believe in whatever. That's why spirituality is not ruining the world like other organised religions. But like, I believe that in a very like micro level, that the way that you exist in the world, if I am someone that thinks negatively and speaks negatively, I attract other negative energy. That's a micro level, right? If I'm a negative bitch, then other negative people will find solace in me, and I will be around negative energy all the time, and I will limit the capacity for like positive things to happen in my life, because all I do is fucking moan. You agree with that, right? Yeah.
But I feel like those like I'm going to stick pictures of sports cars and swimming pools on this bit of board, and I'm going to attract money and
Oh, I
wealth to
believe
me
that
that
so
way.
much, because what I don't believe is that the ability that like people can manifest and be like, I want a big house, and that they will get a big house. That obviously that connection probably isn't like in totality a real thing. But what I do believe is that if you have set your mind to focus on the possibility of things happening to you in your life, then you're more likely to take risks and take opportunities that will lead you into that path. And your energy, how you affect other people's energy, is like huge. Like if I'm in this room and I'm like, we can fucking do this, that's going to affect your energy, which then means that I've created an energy space where like of positivity. And that's what I believe in manifestation. If you're someone that's like, oh, we're going to fucking get this, we're going to do this, then the other people that might have ability to make decisions about whether you are going to do it feel that energy, and they're more swaying to.
Mama, kudos for saying that, for spilling.
But that's spirituality, babe. Like, you believe whatever the fuck you want. I don't need to talk about any of this to anyone because it's so deeply personal to me. It's like gender. Like I understand why so many people need to have their gender validated by other people. That is like a completely on thing. But like my own experience with gender.
What's your gender agenda?
Is so literally, it's so deeply personal that like I don't even need to talk about it. I don't care. Like I don't care how other people see me, because how I see myself is the most important thing.
Well, classic Taurus.
Well, exactly. What about, where do you sit on the spirituality spectrum?
Well, I feel like I've said.
That's it. You obviously are not religious. You're obviously not religious.
Hate religion.
Yeah.
Well, I hate Western religion. I like to think that things like maybe more Eastern stuff is more the vibe.
Yeah.
Just because I like, if you're like Christian or whatever, you're meant to like take a vow of positive. What's the word?
Positivity?
No, poorness.
Oh, chastity. Oh, like of modesty.
So, yeah, basically. So there's like, when you see all these like evangelical people that are like in these like mansions.
Super churches.
Yeah, it's just like, what is going on? Like, there's no way that if heaven and hell is real, you are burning up, bitch.
Yeah,
you are Jessie J in this bitch. But yeah, I just kind of think I'm quite just flat. Like, you live and you die.
Cosmetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you. But I feel like you're open to the possibilities of.
I really wish that there was like more magical shit going on, but I just don't believe it.
Maybe
in
you'll
my
have a
heart of
spiritual
hearts, if I look
awakening.
to myself in the mirror, it's like,
in yourself.
it ain't true, is it?
And what a fantastic time to be discussing this, because we're currently in the midst of a lunar eclipse happening over the next sort of like 12 hours.
And what does that mean?
It's the first time. It's a worm moon, which is a type of blood moon, and it's when the shadow of the Earth passes over the moon and has an eclipse. And our moon, it's a full moon, and it's a moon in Virgo at the moment. And it's a very powerful time. We haven't had a worm moon for 3 years.
What is the point of a blood moon? Or not the point, but the poignancy of a blood moon?
Poignancy of a blood moon. When the moon is in different colours, it's just because it's affected by different
planets.
Yeah, like different planet lineups, like the shadowing of different things, like the Earth, or like if it's an eclipse or whatever, can just change the colour of the moon, and a blood moon happens. A blood moon is quite a regular occurrence.
Would it be better to do witchy vengeful stuff on a blood moon?
I mean, the blood moon has like particular like potency, but like any full moon is like the best time to sort of like have gratitude ceremonies, or like the power of manifestation is like strongest.
Do you charge your water in the moonlight?
I do moon water, yeah. And
you haven't been drinking much water in the studio recently. I think you need to charge some up. You used to have a big bottle.
I did. I used to drink moon water as well, but the best thing about moving to Leytonstone, I see the moon all the fucking time. When I was in King's Cross, I never see it, and I see it all the time now.
It was very so nice. Popping the other night, actually.
Yeah. It was very popping last night, actually, and it's going to be killer tonight. But yeah, that's me. And
what about your tarot journey? A couple of years ago, you were getting into it. Have you?
I am not very. I feel like tarot is one of them things that like you really need to know your shit, because you really need to know how to read them, and that takes a lot of work, and I haven't ventured properly.
But there's a lot to remember, isn't there?
There's a lot to remember, because you have the minor and major arcana cards, and then you also have them inverted, so they mean a different thing if they come upside down. So it's it's a whole lot of things to learn. But I love having my tarot done.
And what are angel cards?
Angel cards is something completely different. Like Angel's like
Anita's mum had angel cards. I was always meant to get a reading, but I never did.
different people's spirituality. Like you could like work with deities. You could be like, I work through Venus. I work through Hecate. Like different people that feel that they've been spoken to by like different deities or spirits or whatever. Also, you could be like vengeful. You could be like, I work through like something bad.
That's just reminded me
Well,
that of
moralistically not bad, but like whatever.
me and Swamp Fairy Nails and some other people. I'm going to be popping my Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my god, I
cherry.
haven't responded to this message. I want to come and watch.
You don't just want to throw your
Maybe,
feet in at the deep end.
Yeah, maybe
but I
I do.
created a character, and they are rogue is the class, and I'm basically like a very sly criminal who is chaotic evil and just a bad little bitch. I'm 3'6".
3'6".
I'm 35 pounds.
Wow.
Excuse
fucking
me.
Mental.
I've got black hair, grey skin, and green eyes, and I move like smoke in the shadows.
I love this for you. What an exciting day.
So are you going to come?
I'd like to, yeah. I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that it's just been announced that we're going to have a COVID Day of Remembrance. Do you feel, question, that COVID is something that you'd like to remember?
I mean, I think it would be... If we have to fucking remember people that died in a war all this time with Poppy Day, I think like enough people died due to shit government and greed. So I think maybe they should have a day of remembrance.
Agreed. And
I wonder if anyone will get persecuted on that day.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Who's that dickhead from Islington that...
Dominic Cummings.
Yeah.
We literally fucking saw him in the street the other day. Buddha was like shaking.
Heckling.
Well, we would.
I'd fucking heckle them.
We wanted to, then like the bus came and it was all just like
too much.
Like when I saw Boris Johnson at the jab thing, and I was literally just like having
But you did
heart
video
palpitations.
it at least you videoed it and got it for the gram. Can I ask you, what's your favourite memory from lockdown?
I think the best memory was starting Animal Crossing on like day one and just spending, I can't remember how many hours now. I had played it like every day for about 3 years and just like got the most bumting island that's ever existed. And they were my friends. I wanted nothing more than to move to this island and just like cut logs and plant trees and hang out with animal friends.
What a gorgeous time. And you don't do it anymore though?
Well, I've moved on now. I've got other games to be getting on with. What about you?
Me and Swamp Fairy Nails and their partner, we got very into... Sorry, this makes it sound like a very drug heavy pod, but we would lay out in our garden, just take mushrooms and just lay in the sun and just... It was such a simple, gorgeous time. Play a lot of Sims, and so I got very into The Sims.
I've never simmed. I've never... Because it's PC, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the best though.
PC gamer.
What would you do now knowing what you know? If you had another lockdown, what would you do differently?
Nothing really. Probably be lazier.
Really?
Yeah. I really
would
love the laziness.
I would not be such a fat bitch, and I did like a workout every single day for like the first month, and then was like, God knows how long this is going to take. I can't keep this up. It's so boring. And then gave up. And I would probably do that. And also, I would start TikTok at the very beginning in a very focused way, because TikTok was the time.
What do you mean, start it?
I would start doing I would start a TikTok account. I'd find something to do, because people blew the fuck up in lockdown because people were just sat around.
Where are they now?
Like making millions on TikTok. The people that, because it became so popular around lockdown, like the people that started and were just talking to the camera, like are now on millions and millions of followers. And I think that if I could, I would have done that.
Very nice.
Just for free money. You know?
My dad always said, maybe like 20 years ago, just start a YouTube channel, just do it. And if I could go back in time, I 100% would. Just any old videos, just once a week or a couple of times a week.
A lovely Primark haul.
Literally, be a millionaire. We have got a question from a listener.
Yeah.
Danny from North London wants to know who our childhood crushes were.
I bet you do. The first crush that I can remember having, which now understanding is like probably for very different reasons than that sort of sexual love, but I think it was when I was like maybe like 10. I had gigantic posters of one female pop star. Who would it be?
Kylie Minogue.
No.
Samantha Mumba.
It was Samantha Mumba. I had loads of posters of her, and I was like, I love her. I can remember my family always being like, God, he just loves Samantha Mumba. But like, I guess maybe
just the way her braids were moving in the wind.
Different reasons, that teeny tiny way. So good for you. What about you?
The first one that comes to mind would be Atreyu from the Neverending Story.
Weird.
Weird?
Like, just, of course it was an animal. Of course it was a dog.
No, that's Falcor. Atreyu is the main boy who rides.
Oh, the little boy. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Not Sebastian.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to talk like that, it'd probably be Robin Hood from Disney. That's one sexy fox. And yeah, loved him. A really rogue one was me and Carla, my oldest friend. Really fancied Cobra from Gladiators for a while, who is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Got like sort of like blonde curly hair and also just like so wedge, like so disgusting.
Yeah.
But my main
LG production.
No, my main first love was Brian Molko from Placebo.
Of course. And what did you do to your arm?
Well, I was going to get to that, but I literally I cut my hair. That's when I first had black hair. Cut my hair and had black hair to like be the same as him. For some reason, I thought, I love him. I must look as much like him as I can. I had like a copy of one of his coats, this kind of like shaggy coat, and then I sort of like got a knife and put it in the fire of my dad's oven and burnt his initials into my arm, and it all like swelled up and blistered. And I remember in like maths in year 9 or whatever, one of them popped and I rubbed it on this girl Katie. I rubbed my groupie pus,
and that's
all
why
over
you
her.
won valedictorian. Also, mine later progressed into, I was very obsessed with John Paul McQueen from Hollyoaks.
Who's he?
Just like the most random looking, like blonde, like you literally would laugh if you saw a photo of him, just like so not the vibe at all. Very obsessed with him when I was like sort of like 11, 12. And then I was very obsessed with Sonny Moore from First to Last, who became Skrillex. Who
my boyfriend has DJ'd with.
Yeah, we were there. We were backstage and he was not featuring us one little bit, was he?
Well,
So
no, I'm
we
not
were very
surprised.
loud
We
and
were very drunk.
Very coked up. But yeah, Sonny Moore from First to Last, I was obsessed with him. I loved him so much. But now, who would you say your current crush is?
I feel like I haven't really fancied anyone for a while. Well, I suppose the last person I fancied in the last couple of days, well, he's not a crush, he's my boyfriend, would be the one who Chapel Rowan was giving air to at the
shout
runway.
out, you know Maggie's listening, shout out to Lolly Bahia.
But who am I talking about?
You're talking about, she's called, I can't remember her name, but very fit, very gorge.
Very fit. Also, the actor who plays Richard Ramirez in American Horror Story, only him playing that character, because I was going to say out of drag. When he's not, he's so wacky.
Absolutely,
He wears sort of like fuchsia suits on the red carpet and stuff. Not the tea.
Yeah, not for me. I don't know who she. I was just looking up that person for you, but I don't think it'll. I think it'll be too long. Oh no, that's the person. They are called Gala. They are called Sasha Carl, and they're very, very, very fit.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of them with long hair, but there was something about the double denim with the slick back hair and the sunglasses, and I thought, oh.
Luke, you got any recommendations for the Divas for this week?
I've got to hark back to a previous recommendation. WWE is
going
off. Like, first of all, we watched this thing called the Elimination Chamber. So, like, basically they have the ring, and then there's in each corner there's like someone in a cage. So the first two will start fighting, and then it's like bah, 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 and we don't know which cage is going to get open, but then they join the fucking fight. And just as it was about to start,
true gladiator style.
Yeah, this is Jade Cargill.
Oh my!
She literally looks like a cross between Teyana Taylor and a real life Storm from the X-Men.
Just like
she's so
much muscle, so much body.
And she wasn't even meant to be fighting, and she just came and beat the shit out of this girl Naomi because there's so much backstage lore.
Muscular, handsome women.
Yeah,
what's not to love?
She's not even handsome. She's fit. And then like the craziest thing that happened was it's like the most watched moment of wrestling history on the internet. John Cena has always been a good guy, and this is his final year, and for some reason he won his cage elimination, his elimination thing, whatever that thing with the chambers, and then The Rock came on, and basically the world champion is called Cody Rhodes. But he's not even making eye contact with me, he's so uninterested.
Sorry, I was just itching my head out.
Basically, The Rock said to Cody Rhodes, I want your soul in exchange for like glory and riches for you and your family, because apparently now he's gone dark side. He's now called him. He's going by like the final boss, and he's gone all like evil. And Cody Rhodes was like, I already sold my soul to this ring and these fans, and everyone's losing their shit. And then John Cena comes up, who's always been a good guy, always fighting for the good guys. He gives Cody Rhodes a hug, and then The Rock runs his finger across his throat, and he beats the fucking shit out of Cody Rhodes. Like, literally, like, blood is coming out of his face everywhere.
But not real blood.
Real blood is coming out of his face.
Crazy.
And, like, literally, the reactions of the crowd, and just, like, when we're watching it, it's just showing all these clips of just, like, children crying, and just, like John Cena, you ruined my life. And, like, yeah, like, it's literally the biggest thing to happen in wrestling, and we saw it live. And,
wow.
It's...
When you say live, because it's live on Netflix.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I literally can't believe how good wrestling is. It's like a soap opera. It's drag. It's like athleticism. It's like acrobats. Yeah. It's looks. It's muscles.
It's all the things you love.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I need to get into it. I was thinking that if you haven't, I don't know how much I support him because I don't know how much I actually like him, but Lil Nas X has finally got some new music out after about 5 years. And I saw one of the videos and I thought, oh, he's cute actually. Actually, I'm quite into it, and it's quite bop. And oh my god, what song does it sample? It's got a good sample in it that's quite crazy that you'd be like, hold up, I can't believe that they got that, and that's being...
Because I like his vibe, but I haven't historically been a massive fan of the tracks.
No, me too. I'm exactly the same. I find the music a bit samey and a bit... But... Hotbox, here we go. What is this song? Oh, great. Just a lovely... Oh. What song is this?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
Just tell me what it is.
I can't think of what it is. Hang on. It's it's NERD.
Is it front in?
What it's called Hotbox. Sorry, this is such a boring thing to do live, but I just need to say what the sample is. Why don't you ask me about the purity test now?
Okay, number 15. Had a dating app. What are you saying?
Oh my god, all of them at one point. I've done Tinder. I've done
Bumble.
No, I've never done Bumble actually. So not all of them.
For the gals.
Hinge. I've done. What was the one where you like walk past people?
Oh, that was a really good one.
It was quite horrible. Happen.
That was good because I always did the same bus journey through like a trendy area, so it's like, oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I made the horrible mistake once of being like, I'm just going to swipe right. Wait, is it right is when you like them?
It is fronting, sorry, the sample.
It is.
Yeah.
I just swiped basically yes on like 200 people to see what would happen.
That's
and then
crazy.
Couldn't get any peace afterwards because all these uggos were just messaging.
I used to absolutely fucking love it, but it is like wading through a pile of human excrement. Like, it's like there are so many people on it that are just so fucking mental. And it's not even clapped people. It'll be like people that are quite fit that will then message you just being like, it'll be like 9 o'clock in the morning, just be like, I want to eat your ass. And it's like, oh, what happened? Whatever happened to hello? Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, what happened to buy me breakfast?
And also as well, like, go on Grindr. Like, there's so many. Go on, get on your sniffies or whatever. It's just like...
What's sniffies?
Sniffies is, I don't know, maybe for the bears, maybe for the pups. But
Sure.
it's like, I think it's more like cruising.
Oh, because you're like sniffing the other dog's butts.
Yeah. I think it's more cruisy, but I've never had it myself, but good for the girls. And yeah, it's like people just be like so fucking unhinged in it, or you'd be like, oh, they're so fit, and then someone will message you being like, hey, how are you? You'd be like, yeah, sick, I'm just doing this, blah, 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 blah. Like, how's your day been? Like, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, cool.
Ugh,
just listening to music. And it's like, what the fuck? I
convos.
just block straight away. It's like, if I'm trying, please try.
Yeah,
like,
there's nothing worse than like, oh my god, he's really fit, and then they get a message and it's just like
so dry.
Sup or something.
Yeah. Like, don't be dry Vita on a fucking dating app. Like, that's the one time you got flex.
But then don't be super wacky either, because then that makes you
no,
want to
of course
die.
not. But then I wouldn't match with you if you were super wacky. What I used to do a lot is just do voice notes, and I'd like in lockdown, I'd just like voice note someone, be like, hey, like
they have voice
like
notes on it.
Yeah, and just do like a 30-second voice note, being like, hey, like what I like this, how my day's been, like this, blah 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 blah. Because also as well, once you get, it feels much more real if you hear their voice.
Yeah.
And what I used to love all the time, I'd match with people, and they'd be like thugged the fuck out in their photos. They're holding guns. They're holding koi carp. Do you know what I mean? And then they'd be like, "Hey, babe, you're right." It's like, what are you doing? It'd be like, I'd be more attracted to you if you were showing the true Fagatini. NRG.
It used to be like a game, like okay, like I'll just do like 20 more swipes, into like that. There's got to be a fit one,
something.
please.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I don't have to business with that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. I don't.
But I also have a boyfriend, so I don't need to.
Yeah, but I'm saying you also don't. You can choose to tap out of that world. Yeah,
you can be incel.
As I will, as my life is. So we're going to take a little creative break now, but we will see you not in soon, very soon. We just need to work out what we're going to do and make it super fab for you.
Let us know if there's any things you like from what we've got currently, or
what's
you
working in the
don't
setup.
like, or
because obviously,
holla back, girl.
Yeah, innit? All right. And do you know that holla back girl? Do you know where that came from? One time, Pharrell was talking to Naomi Campbell, and he was like, "God, like the effect you have on men." And she's like, "Yeah, but I don't get it. Like, they never really seem to understand. Like, I'll be like walking in the street, and they'll be like, hey Naomi, shouting at me." And she's like, and they like holler at me, and she's like, and I'm not really like a holler back girl. And so like it never goes anywhere. And he's like, holler back girl, that's such a good name for a song. And he went and wrote it after that.
That wasn't a phrase before?
No.
Crazy.
I ain't no holler back girl. Naomi Campbell, you got to thank for that. Also, Dark Energy, not into her Naomi Campbell. cannot go see the exhibit, cannot go see her retrospective, and also can't support her. Every time I see a video of her, I just swipe off it because I think there's something very dark going on with Naomi Campbell, who is a friend of the Trumps, Epstein,
Michael
Jackson and Diddy.
Well, and on that note,
see you later.
We'll see you soon.
See you soon, guys.
A bientôt.
Love you.
I got a hangover. Whoa.